Welcome back. As we earlier said, we're studying means, or the government is studying the best means to be able to spare efforts to develop with industries, or especially the promising ones, introduce the technology, introduce digital transformation, to take them to a whole new level that cope with the new momentum. And this very important topic, we're very delighted to be having with us Engineer Mustafa Waly. He's former General Manager of Egyptian Industrial Federation. Good morning, Engineer Waly.
Good morning.
How are you doing, sir?
Fine, thank you.
So what is the story with those efforts that the government is keen day and night on sparing those efforts to be able to develop with the promising industries, to take it to a whole new level, to introduce new technologies, to have a foundation, a full solid foundation of digital transformation? How is that going to happen?
Well, actually, it is now put in the best and the most important and the most practical way of handling such, national, major and important national achievement to be achieved, goal to be achieved. And that's it in the form of strategy, where every part and every authority in the Egyptian society concerned with this issue more or less should be together aware of what should be done and according to which rules. And that was great because it's the first time actually to have the word strategy for industry, and I'm very, very pleased. And I know the importance of this because it's not only just, just giving the name to the project which are looking for, which is the industry and the development of industry, but also all the concerned parties in their actual position where they can contribute in solving the problem, even trying to evade it from the beginning before it happens, so increasing the pace of development. That's my understanding for this new, and the strategy was discussed under His Excellency President Sisi, with the full ministerial bodies and ministers, group ministers and economic and other things and other specialties, and they were all together forming and discussing this, and we follow it together.
Right. So from your own point of view, where do you see the challenges that are facing those efforts to be able to cope up with the world momentum and with the latest state of the art and the most promising industries, to cope with the latest technologies in industries generally? Where are the challenges? Where exactly can we spot the challenges?
Well, actually, when you are talking about such big and vast activity in the developed world and in the life of the people at large, the industry, especially with these achievements in technology, achievements in science and science application, it's a big and tremendous work. So actually, when you talk about the challenges, it's multiple. You cannot enumerate it. But the most important thing that out of experience, out of knowledge, out of studies, out of applying the scientific approach for solving the problems, and with the capacity and the caliber of those who are dealing with the problems, then it's okay. It will be handled. It will be solved. The most important thing that we handle these problems and challenges, challenges out of our experience, which we have been through, of course, up till this moment, and even the emerging ones, in the understanding within a framework of viable and studied steps in each sector of the industry, because it's even multiple sectors when you talk about multiple sectors when you talk about industries, starting from the heavy industry to the high-tech industries, and that's the situation. And by the way, the whole world is facing this, and it's managing to go through this, And we are learning from the world, and we are following. Plus, we have our success stories even.
Right. As we all know that Egypt have taken a leap since President Abdel Fattah Sisi stepped into office, besides, of course, conquering terrorism, but talking about developing with the capabilities of industries, we have taken a good leap. We have taken a leap in industries. We've even developed ourselves to the level of technological industries. We have agriculture industries, we have all types, fabric industries. We have revived old industries that have been totally destroyed. We revived them again. We have automobile industries and many types of other minor and macro industries. So talk to us about the different stages Egypt have taken in order to reach to where we are now, and inshallah to continue for the future.
Of course, you have been describing the situation of over the years. But let me tell you something, that right now, or even for some time now, we are exactly like any other developing countries which is competing in the industry of the latest type of industry and technologies. That is the high-tech technologies and the IT technologies, information technologies, We are there because even we have those who trust to work with us and establish their investment in Egypt to manufacture the most or the latest sophisticated communication systems. I mean, mobile phones and similar. That's something to add and something to be proud of. Plus also the automotive industry, which we have actually a good history, a reliable one. We can build on it, especially in the newest phase, which also we can fare in it, That's the electric cars, for example. I want to just to emphasize this in this word only, which is true.
Right. Of course, there are local industries or domestic industries for each country according to the natural resources that each country possesses. If you like to talk about Egypt and assess Egypt with its domestic industry, what could we say?
Well, when it comes to the aggregate, that's the area, the technicalities and the material, the important side of the industry in its classical way. It means that the availability of the raw materials, which is needed to have a finished product sellable in the market and demanded by the market. When we look at this, we have a lot of the traditional industry based on this. From minerals to transformation, a lot. Chemical and you name it, woodworking. You can tell we have a history, and we manage over the year even to develop in most of these sectors. And I witnessed this myself, being the general manager of the federation for quite some time in the inception of the 2000 era, decade. Anyway, it is important because you know what? It makes the feasibility and the success much easier. But this doesn't mean that if you don't have the whole required material or parts to have a finished product, you shouldn't stop, because if you have, let's say, 70%, 80%, why not you can acquire the rest and then you have it all together and you prove yourself that you will have the product for the as their standard, international standard, and in the form and in the sense that you can compete price-wise, and then you can secure actually a good share, regardless of that have the full aggregates or the full demands and materials or the full inputs for the production process. But the more you have locally, again, I have to emphasize this, the more you have locally and the more you can increase its productivity and its efficiency in transformation in your process as industry, the more you are competitive at the end.
Right. One of the main strong pillars for any successful economy is domestic industry. I mean, any type of industry in general is the foundation of a powerful economy. And throughout history, we have experienced that particular experience of having a strong economy with our local industries. We've seen other successful experiences with other countries and all that. So we have set our feet for almost more than 10 years with our local industries, and we're also continuing over the course towards booming economy, depending on successful industries or promising industries, let me call it. So what are your suggestions for powerful local industry in Egypt, depending on what?
Imagine there now a new element. I understand fully your question, but my answer is there are new elements where actually the labor and the training level and the educational background and sophisticated educational background in itself can surpass any other common, well-known stories about the traditional success stories and the carry-on, the normal, or what you call the original Egyptian industries, or the what we are used to call our industry. We know, we grow up and we see it. For example, I can tell you that there will be a new brand. First, the big one, which is electric cars. But with it exactly and together, there will be a very big field, diversified for what we call artificial intelligence in industry, plus an existing type also and existing source of the industry, which is precision engineering industry. You see this, the requirement for this is actually the human element, the human resource, and the developed human resource. I can refer to some countries, well-known in this, Japan, for example, where they don't have the sources and the raw materials, but they have. Anyway, well, a lot of stories you can tell about this, but in general, the development in the world when it comes to technologies and the science and science applications and the discoveries in many fields, it's tremendous revolution, it's going day by day. So we are coping with it. But of course, there will be always the traditional, and even it should be the traditional industry, where it's also covering the medicine, where medical products, food products, food processing, food products, agro industries. Look at the development in agro industries. It's also tremendous, increasing the area of agriculture using the latest technologies in industry. You know what I mean? And that's generally the truth. I'm very happy that, of course, our seniors and those who are taking care of this, noble mission of raising the standards of Egyptian society and developing Egypt are aware of this, all of them. Yeah.
Right. And also, let us talk about the national strategy to develop with local industry and also unleashing the potentials of introducing technologies, new technologies to cope with the momentum, and also digitalizing those industries, which is very important. So talk to us about the importance of that and how to do it.
Well, you just said, you mentioned digitization, this is what I was just telling you, digitization. Most of what I've said was manifested in digitization. Yes. The only thing is that how much we can localize, and localization in this case has different meaning. I mean, much more, comprehensive meaning. It will include the human resources. And in this case, I am very happy to notice that in the strategy, there were a very strong emphasis stressing mentioning the details of the strategy, that the development of the human resources by the most important in the industry is the training, and the best available training, in every sphere needed, from just theoretical to practical, witnessing and visiting some establishments where you have the latest technology. You can get into institutions. I mean, I noticed this. It was given very, very good care, and I'm happy to notice this. I'm trying, to as much as I can to show you how it is, diversified, but at the end, altogether, it has to do with raising your capacities of absorbing and dealing and, handling and trying to afford as much as you can the requirements for a successful, advanced industry in a certain sector.
Right, right. Of course, at this note, Engineer Mustafa Waly, you are former General Manager of Egyptian Industrial Federation. Would like to thank you, sir, talking to us on the Breakfast Show, and you have a good day. And we're going to go to a short break, and we'll come to continue the Breakfast Show, so stay with us.